The first question
Okay.
is, have you ever masticated a sweet cherry gumball?
Yes, yes, I have.
That was a
And
great line, by the
it's
way. I love that
delicious.
line.
Yes.
Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watcher Pass, and today I'm talking to Bill Moseley, who plays the governor in Prisoners of the Ghostland, which is releasing in theaters digitally and VOD on September 17th, 2021. We're going to talk to him in just a second, but first let's check out the trailer, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.
My granddaughter has been lost to us. I would have her return to me post-haste. And you, sir, I am told, are the man to do the job.
This is the Ghostland, a land of no escape. We are not the ones who hold her captive. It's been 2 days, and still she is missing. Make it rain, baby!
Hey Bill,
Hey,
how's it going?
it's going well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for
All
joining
right.
me.
Oh, my pleasure.
I dressed up as you for the interview, so
Yes, it looks good. I like
thank you.
that.
It's the one time I'm able to use my white suit, so it's perfect.
Fantastic. Well, now you need a really big hat to get over those, those earphones.
I'm not as cool as you, so I can't do that. And also, yeah, I've got the earphones, so I'd have to get like a comically large size hat, which actually probably would have worked in this film. So
It could have. Yeah, you're right.
so thanks so much for joining me. This is Bill Moseley. He plays the governor in Prisoners of the Ghostland, which is coming to theaters, VOD, and digital on September 17th, 2021. So my first question is, can you explain the story to me? I watched it 2 times. I still kind of don't understand it. It's a stylish, very interesting film, but I don't understand anything about it.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. No. It's actually I play the governor. My granddaughter, quote unquote, has fled, the wonderful the home I provided her, and taken a couple of friends and gone into what is called the Ghostland. They've left our safe community, Samurai Town, which is a kind of a mashup between the Old West and feudal Japan, with samurais and ninjas and cowboys. And she has gone off into the Ghostland, where crazy things happen, where bad things happen. And so what I do is I get Nicolas Cage, who happens to be in my prison. His name is Hero, in case you didn't know.
It's very, very subtle.
And he goes off to into the Ghostland to try to retrieve my granddaughter. And if he can bring her back within 3 to 5 days, then he will go free. Otherwise, he's in jail for life because he was part of a bank robbery that went wrong, and that some people were killed in the course of the bank robbery. So he's either got life in prison, or he gets to free and somehow retrieve Bernice, get her back to me in a certain amount of time, and then if you trust me, you will, then he will go free. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
That's a very, very good explanation of it. So how did you get involved in this film? Like, had the script comes across your desk, or had you worked with Sion before? Or
I certainly have not. Although I'm a huge fan of Sion's movies, starting with Suicide Club. Actually, the first Sion movie I saw was Tag. And the opening scene in Tag was enough to get my attention and to pique my interest, so that I started going back to Suicide Club, Tokyo Tribe, anti-porno, hair extensions, Why Don't You Play in Hell, and my favorite, Cold Fish.
oh,
But anyway, I was friends, and still am friends, with one of the co-writers, Reza Sixto Safai. And Reza, was a friend of mine and also a fan. I invited him to come to a screening of Three from Hell, for instance, and I guess he saw that big beard and whatever I was doing in that, and something clicked, and so he thought of me as for the governor. I think he mentioned it to Sion, who turned out to be a big fan of mine from the Rob Zombie movies and Chainsaw 2, etc. And so that's basically how I got the gig.
That is perfect. And the thing that I did the review of this already, and I love the style of this film. The film has just a very kind of noticeable style with a lot of like you said, Western and feudal Japan influences, but then also a lot of like techno aspects and just a lot of very kind of noticeable aspects. And the one thing I loved about your character, well, one of the things is your white suit. Was that part of the script? Is that something that you kind of brought in because you wanted to showcase like how this character is very different? Like how did that kind of go about?
Well, actually, that was the idea that was already baked into the script. When I got the part, one of the first things I received was I think they wanted 40 different measurements.
Oh gosh.
Wrist size, all kinds of, basic, height and width and all that other stuff, plus all these other smaller, more intricate measurements. So they made that suit, that was, maybe a month or two in the making. And so I knew, I basically had the general idea of the character, certainly from the story and reading the script a couple of times, but I wasn't really I hadn't really connected to the character in an intrinsic way until I did the costume fitting. I was over in Maibara, Japan, where we shot the movie, Miabara. Okay. And I was in the wardrobe session with Sion. And I got the suit on and everything was great. I got the shoes, they fitted the hat on me. I felt really good, but still wasn't quite connected. And then they brought out the red gloves. Oh, and I pulled on those red gloves and then I realized, okay, so I am whoever I am. And this is the blood on my hands. And, the perfect white suit, the Vestal Virgin, except the blood on my hands. And when I pulled the gloves on, Sion looked at me and went, "Governor," and I was like, okay, let's go for it, boy. And the inspiration for the voice kind of came from that connection, and really was I like to describe it as a cross between Colonel Sanders, whom they revere in Japan, by the way, they love Colonel Sanders, and then of course. One of my favorite cartoon characters, Foghorn Leghorn, the cartoon rooster. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll tell you, boy, he's full of bluster. He's a big blustery old rooster, talking to the little chicken hawk. So anyway, that's how the elements all kind of combined.
That is a very good comparison as well. And they also kind of, definitely Colonel Sanders, you get that vibe from this outfit as well. I think but
no chickens were harmed.
Well, as far as we know. It was really fun also to see kind of Nic Cage. Your first scene with him, he's wearing that like samurai, I don't know what you call it, like samurai diaper, samurai wrap.
Samurai diaper. I think he was supposed to be in the script. He was supposed to be just buck naked.
Okay.
So I guess they figured out that I don't know what they figured out, but yes, he did show up in the diaper.
And what was that like to kind of have that be the first scene with Nic Cage? Was that the first scene you filmed with him, or were there other scenes filmed first?
No, that was it. I was impressed. I just thought, man, this guy's going for it. And that can be very inspiring to your fellow actors. When you see, the star show up with that kind of willingness, that kind of daring do, because we shot it in November and December, and in Japan, that's cold. That is, so it wasn't really exactly balmy when we did that. So even, on top of whatever, his whatever was revealed by that costume, it was also cold.
Yeah.
So I was impressed and inspired. I got to say that fired me up, and I plowed forward. Whatever was telling me, what's your better side? All the actor concerns out the door. Just let's go for it.
Yeah, that's a detail I didn't catch, and that's very impressive that he still did that scene. So you also have some Japanese lines in this film. Had you studied Japanese before, or was that just for this film itself?
It was for the film, and in fact, I had actually asked if I could. There were a couple of scenes with some of the girls. There were a couple of scenes, or at least a couple of lines that I thought would be fun to deliver, and helpful to the character to deliver in Japanese. So I learned those phonetically pretty much.
Perfect. So I know we have very limited time, so I'm going to switch. I call it the lightning rounds. It's very short, lightweight questions about the film, see how your experiences relate to the things that happened on screen. You can feel free not to answer, but I try to keep them very answerable. The first question is, have you ever masticated a sweet cherry gumball?
Yes, I have.
That was a great line, by the way.
It's delicious. Yes.
Do you own a white suit?
No.
Would you rather wear that Nicolas Cage loincloth or the explosive leather suit?
Loincloth.
Loincloth, excellent.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a cowboy or a samurai?
Cowboy.
Favorite Japanese food?
Chicken teriyaki.
That fits the Colonel Sanders in Japan. They might have chicken teriyaki. You don't know. And when was the last time you had sake?
1987.
It's very specific. I like it. So the film is Prisoners of the Ghostland. Is coming into theaters September 17, 2021. You're promoting it, but your bio is prolific. I mean, this might be one of the heavier bios I've ever printed out. So I imagine there's other things as well. What can people look for you after they see you in this film?
I just finished a movie called The Chastiser, which will come out when it comes out. I can also be seen right now in several videos by a metal band called Ice 9 Kills. So if you go to their website or you go on their Instagram, you can see me in the Ice 9 Kills video. And in both of those movies, that's why we don't see the beard anymore. Both of those movies, I play a hard-boiled detective. So hard-boiled detectives have a little scruff, but they don't have a governor beard.
Just doing everything for your craft. Just a dedicated actor right there.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. And this is Bill Moseley from Prisoners of the Ghostland. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Thank you, sir. See you later.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks, David.
Thank you. That was Bill Moseley talking about Prisoners of the Ghostland, a new Japanese Western fever dream starring Nic Cage and Bill Moseley. It's coming to theaters, digital, and VOD on September 17, 2021. So you can check it out in theaters, or you can rent it and check it out at home. You'll probably want to watch it a couple times because it's a pretty confusing, crazy movie. If you liked this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot and makes sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.